let us discuss. The question, is Mike Evans an upgrade, a clear and obvious upgrade for the 49ers, or is he just a big name that makes you feel all warm and fuzzy if you're a 49er fan? So my observations, I've got DC Comics, Ghost Ship, and Fast Pass. I'll combine all of these things together, and we are going to put the biscuit in the basket is what we're going to do. We always start out with number one. That's right, number one. Number one. All right, so GM John Lynch, the man who's in charge of the Grand Poobah, used to work for his dad. His dad ran radio stations in San Diego, John Lynch, back in the day. But John Lynch decided that the training room in Santa Clara, the training room for the 49ers was not busy enough. And he said, you know what? This is such a great country club we have here. It is such a social hour. Why don't we add a little razzmatazz? We'll add Mike Evans. So they bring in Mike Evans, and some of my guys who are Niner fans, I did pop into the email, and some of my guys who are Niner fans, of course I'm not literally, I don't think these guys could do backflips, but they seem very giddy. There was a lot of, see, Maller, your Rams, so they have no chance now. Mike Evans is a 49er. Like they just landed Jerry Rice. It's 1985 all over again, or 1995 in T.O. They just added this unbelievable player. Oh, my God. Yeah, so this is the classic warm and fuzzy signing. That's where I have this at this point. On the Maller report card, the most important grading system in overnight sports radio, the Maller report card, the 49ers adding Mike Evans, they get a C. That's it. C. It's an average edition. It's an average pickup. Here's why. You're buying a Cadillac Escalade that looks really nice. It's a luxury SUV, and then you realize it's got 250,000 miles on it. The odometer has been rolled back, but you know that it's actually got 250,000 miles on it. Evans will be 33 by the time they kick off the 2026 NFL regular season. Now, you know that in real life, 33 is young and prime of your life. It's great. It's wonderful. That's great. However, in sports, your athletic prime ends at 32. No matter how many drugs you take, you're starting your decline. Now, you can push it back a little bit with the right cocktail of stuff you get from a pharmacy in Tijuana, but you're still on the wrong side at that point. So he'll be 33 by next season, and in dog years, that's 231. So he'll be a 231-year-old wide receiver. If I said the 49ers added a wide receiver that's 231 years old, you say, oh, my God. That wide receiver is almost as old as the United States. That's an old wide receiver. No. So he's walking into the 49ers. He might as well come with crutches and a wheelchair because he's got a hamstring, the hammy that seems to always go whammy, Mike Evans. And he's missed the 12 games combined the last 2 years, games missed. The availability is obviously a red flag. Now, he is an evil genius, Mike Evans, in this regard. And the reason he's an evil genius is he's got the ultimate trump card up his sleeve. Now, what is the ultimate trump card for Mike Evans? When inevitably, it's going to happen, snap, crackle, pop, Rice Krispies. When that takes place, a big heaping bowl of Rice Krispies, when that happens, I don't know, week four of the NFL season, Mike Evans, not going to blame the age. He's not going to blame the age. He's going to blame the DC Comics character Shazam. He's going to blame Shazam is what he's going to do. Because, well, kind of. Just work with me on this. Again, we'll go back to it. The 49ers, they practice, they play right near an electrical substation, so they need Shazam to come in there and take care of that, right near the 49ers stadium. And why would anyone risk their health to sign with the 49ers? You all told me that this is a major health hazard. And that's why all these guys on the Niners always get hurt, because they're near that substation, and it's the low-frequency electromagnetic field at the substation that messes everything up. and the thingamajig doesn't work, and then the doohickey is not quite right and all that stuff. And the tendons in these 49er players turn into fettuccine Alfredo. That's what the tendons look like because they're near that substation. Got to have a fall guy. Got to have a fall guy. Now, the more interesting part, as we turn the page to page 2, the more interesting part of the Mike Evans sojourn is that Mike Evans' decision to leave the Buccaneers after over a decade, 12 seasons in Tampa. It's a long time in pro football. And his agent's like, well, he just wanted a new chapter elsewhere. That's what he wanted. His agent says the decision was driven by a desire to compete, not by money, indicating that the Buccaneers had a very competitive, if not same exact offer to Mike Evans. So they offered him what he wanted, and he didn't want them. And so he said, hey, I'm out of here. And that's it. I'm gone. And so the question, how do you decode Mike Evans' agent claiming that his client, Evans, is leaving Tampa for a new chapter, not because of money, however, because he wants to compete? So for the purposes of this Maller monologue, let's go with the hypothesis that this is actually true. We'll work through it. So using the Maller Rosetta Stone, when the agent says the client wanted a new challenge, what they're really saying is Mike Evans looked around the Buccaneers locker room and he saw a ghost ship, is what he saw. He saw a ghost ship there drifting towards a sandbar and no one to stop it. No one to fire the cannons. None of that stuff. And when your star receiver decides, according to the agent, again, if we believe the agent, when your star receiver is like, no, my client needs a new challenge, that is code. It is code for what? This place is headed right to the Bermuda Triangle. They might as well bring back the creamsicle uniforms full time. A team that is dressed up as a playoff team, but they're really a faux playoff team. And the only reason they're in playoff conversation is because they're in the NFC South. And so you peel that back, it's like they're a Temu contender. It's a product. It's cheap and crappy most of the time, but it's a product. You buy it and you get something in return. It's not that great. Not what you think it's going to be most of the time. And then there's that. And Evans clearly saw the writing on the wall there with the Buccaneers. The offense, his role, would it have shrunk even more? Caught a lot of touchdowns last year in Tampa. Didn't play all those games, and will going forward the targets will they be drying up? Is that one of the reasons he wanted to get out of there? This is a vote of no confidence for Baker Mayfield, who throws a lot of YOLO balls there. You only live once. Chuck it up in the air. Why not? And Todd Bowles, who we like. Todd Bowles, good soundbite guy, better soundbite guy than a coach. Todd Bowles running a program that feels like it's always stuck in neutral there in Tampa. So you got all those things, and it is, again, a vote of no confidence for the coach and the quarterback that Mike Evans, Mr. Buccaneer, is like, I'm good. I want to relocate all the way across the country. I've made my life. I've made my professional life in Tampa. They want me. They're willing to pay me what I want, and I don't want to be there anymore. I want to get out of here. And he will be, for now, wide receiver, the top wide receiver for the 49ers. Is likely going to be wide receiver number 2 on the depth chart there. And he's just saying the Bucs are not trying to compete. That's the messaging here. And the Bucs are a team that gives you the illusion of contention. It's like if you've ever walked around, I was lucky enough, we had the TV show for a couple of years, and I walked around the back lot at Universal Studios in Hollywood. You walk around there, and they have the whole New York set, and it looks like you're in a big city, and you got these skyscrapers and all that stuff, and there's delis here, and there's a post office over there, there's a big bank building. You walk around it, and then you go through the doors on that, and you walk through the doors, and then you're like, well, wait a minute. It's just, those aren't real. It's just plywood and paint and some tape and some other stuff and some screws and some stuff hammered in over there, and that's it. That's all it is. All right, now, final point. to the one that got away, the Cowboy edition. The one that, now, the Cowboys did make some moves. Nothing that really got you all excited. Nothing like that. But so the move here that a lot of people are buzzing about, free agent linebacker Nakobe Dean. Good name. Nakobe Dean, who had been playing for the Philadelphia Eagles. So he opted to accept a deal from the worst team in the NFL, the Raiders, rather than play for the Dallas Cowboys. Dean gets a 3-year contract to take his talents to Nevada, $36 million to play on the clown show that is Tom Brady's Raiders. The Cowboys and Raiders had supposedly similar offers. We just talked about Mike Evans, and Mike Evans had a similar offer by the Bucs. He chose to sign with the 49ers. Well, here, same situation. Ultimately, Nakobe Dean decided that he wanted to go play for the Raiders. He claimed it was 51-49. I love that he just made that up out of thin air. Well, it was 51-49. I decided to go the 51 with the Raiders, but it could have been 51 for the team that plays in Dallas, but it wasn't. So he's like, I'll go to Vegas. I'll go to Vegas. Okay. There you go. So the question, and here's the question for the class. This is not an open book question. Here it is. What does it say when a free agent such as Nakobe Dean, who's not a star player, he's not, it's a nice name, good, not great player, Nakobe Dean, when he takes a look at the Cowboys that at one point was America's team, he looks at that nonsense and says, now I want to go play to a city that is gouging its one industry, tourism, by nickel and diming people that come to Vegas with parking charges and overpriced food and just gouging, the very thing that keeps that town alive. I want to go to that town. I want to go to Vegas. Okay? So my thought is, now, Nakobe Dean looked at Jerry Jones. He said, well, I've got the Tom Brady circus, where Tom, Mr. Skinny Pant jean guy, faux broadcaster guy. So I got Tom Brady over here, who's really the GM, but he's pretending like he's not. He's doing cosplay. I'm not the GM. I'm the one that's pulling the strings, but I'm not the GM. Okay. Then you got Jerry Jones, who's very transparent. I am the GM. I am in charge here. And he looked at Jerry Jones and said, I'm good. And he chose the Raiders, the laughingstock of the NFL, the Raiders. The NFL's version of abandoned property. That's the Raiders, right? Broken windows, graffiti, excessive litter, smells like urine. That's Raider football. And hope is sold separately. Hope is sold separately for the Raiders there. And Dean said, no, I'll take that over the fast pass on the Jerry roller coaster. I don't want the fast pass on the Jerry World roller coaster. And so there you go. It's not really a recruiting loss. It is a very poor Yelp review for the Dallas Cowboys. Not a good Yelp review. And Dallas keeps polishing those helmets like they're the Lombardi Trophy themselves. And the problem is that it's so sporadic anyway with free agency. But to lose to the Raiders is a real kick to the nuts. I mean, if you lose to a good team, that's one thing. The Raiders are not a good team, and they're not even close to being a good team. I don't know if they'll ever have a good team again in my life. They're about to draft a guy that can't play quarterback. Good luck on that. And spend a bunch of money on mediocre players. So I don't know where there is for the Raiders to go. I don't know where there is. And this guy chose to sign with the Raiders. And it's wild. Chose Vegas over there. Now, somebody was saying, well, he played Philadelphia and he didn't want to go to the Cowboys because that's a rivalry and all that stuff. But still, to pick Vegas over Dallas, both teams are not good. I'm not going to sit here and say the Cowboys are good. They're not. In terms of the click currency, the Cowboys are pretty good about that. But it's the football equivalent. It's the football equivalent of leaving a 5-star hotel for a roadside motel that is infested. There's an infestation of bed bugs. That's the Raiders. And they charge by the hour, by the way. But you left because, the hotel manager was kind of, hovering around, didn't really like it and all that. So, and it's pretty funny. The Eagle Marching and Chowder Society. Not a good day for the Eagles. They lost a bunch of guys, and they're all bummed out about that. They are celebrating. And they're having a drink because Nakobe Dean did not go to the Dallas Cowboys. He stiff-armed the Cowboys, which makes them, Jerry Jones, a bigger punching